Please mute your mic.
Did you say mute the mic?
No, it's okay. The place is fine. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakopi Samaprabha Nirvighna Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Me Sada Gurave Sarvalokanam Vitaye Bhavarodinam Vitaye Sarvavidyanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Ishvaro Gurudhatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyaptadehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahadevyam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastavamavidvishavahe Om Shanti 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 Hare Om Vasudevendra Yogindram Advajnanapradam Gurum Mumukshunam Hitarthaya Tattvabodho Didiyate. Now you can repeat unto me. Atmakaha Sthula Sukshma Karana Sharirat Vyatiriktah Panchakoshatitah San Avastatraya Sakshi Satchidananda Rupasan Yahatishati Sa Atma
Stula Sukshma Karana Sharirat Vyatiriktah Panchakoshatitah Avastatraya Sakshi Satchidananda Rupasan Yahatishati Sa Atma
Sthula Shariram Kim
Stula Shariram Kim
Pancha Mahabhutai Srutam Satkarmajamyam Sukadukkhadi Bhogayatanam Shariram Asti Jayate Vardhate Viparinamade Apakshiyate Vinashyati Iti Praktikarat Etat Sthula Shariram
Bhogayatanam Shariram Jayate Vartate Viparinamate Apakshiyate Vinashyati Iti Shadvikaravat Etat Sthula Shariram
Sukshma Shariram Kim
Sukshma Shariram Kim.
Have you not memorized these definitions yet? Huh? You should have memorized by this time.
எனக்கு டிரைவே ஓபன் ஆக மாட்டேங்கிறது. நான் என்னோட இதை சப்போர்ட் பண்ண மாட்டேங்கிறது. என் சிஸ்டம் இஸ் நாட் சப்போர்ட்டிங்.
But you have the PDF copy which I sent long back. That you can, at least you can write on your piece of paper Just
If it is by PDF, I will go and. Yeah. I have a problem memorizing it. I'm going to read, period. I'm not even going to attempt. That's why I'm laughing. It is just impossible to remember for me.
It is all Paribhasha definitions. What
so it
will come very handy when you read other scriptures.
No, I agree. I wish I could.
Okay, I'm doing it every class. At least you will keep repeating, and something will enter your head. It will remain there.
It's there. It's there when you read it. It's coming, but I don't think I can do it without making mistakes. I'm sure I'll go here and there if I have to. One Panchabhuta, one Sushma Sharira, this and that might go away. I don't want to do mistakes.
Okay, if it really helps you that we are chanting from Atma again, the whole thing, it's okay, we can do it. But saying it's better to memorize it. Vasanti and Sangamitra and Chandrakari. I think you are memorizing this, right?
It's trying. We are doing, but it's still not going.
Very okay.
PDF இருந்ததுன்னா ஓபன் பண்ணி ட்ரை பண்ணிடுறேன் நான் எப்படின்னு.
Yeah, try. Mike, I sent you along that and to see that.
Yeah.
Sukshma shariram kim.
Sukshma shariram kim.
Apanchīkrita pancha mahabhūtaihi kritam satkarmajanyam skadukkādi bhoga sadhanam pancha jnānendriyāni pancha karmendriyāni pancha prānādayah manaschaikam buddhischaica evam saptadashakkalabhissaha yati tishtati sukshma shariram.
पंचज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि पंचकर्मेन्द्रियाणि पंचप्राणादयः मनश्चैकं बुद्धिश्चैका एवं सप्तदश कलाभिः यत् तिष्ठति तत् सूक्ष्मशरीरम्.
Okay, next one. श्रोत्रं त्वक् चक्षुरसना घ्राणमिति पंच ज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि.
ज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि.
श्रोत्रस्य दिग्देवता त्वचो वायुः चक्षुषः सूर्यः रसनायाः वरुणः ज्ञानस्य अश्विनौ इति ज्ञानेन्द्रियदेवताः.
श्रोत्रस्य देवता चक्षुषः सूर्यः रसनाया वरुणः घ्राणस्य अश्विनौ इति ज्ञानेन्द्रियस्य देवताः.
श्रोत्रस्य विषयः शब्दग्रहणम् वचो विषयः स्पर्शग्रहणम् चक्षुषो विषयः रूपग्रहणम् रसनायाः विषयः रसग्रहणम् घ्राणस्य विषयः गन्धग्रहणम्.
श्रोत्रस्य विषयः शब्दग्रहणम् वचो चक्षुषो विषयः रूपग्रहणम् रसनाया विषयः रसग्रहणम् घ्राणस्य विषयः गन्धग्रहणम्.
वाक्पाणिपादपायुपस्थानि इति पंचकर्मेन्द्रियाणि.
वाक्पाणिपादपायुपस्थानि पंचकर्मेन्द्रियाणि.
वाचो देवता वह्निः हस्तयोरिन्द्रः पादयोर्विष्णुः पायोर्मृत्युः उपस्थस्य प्रजापतिः इति कर्मेन्द्रियदेवताः.
वाचो देवता वह्निः हस्तयोरिन्द्रः पादयोर्विष्णुः पायोर्मृत्युः उपस्थस्य प्रजापतिः इति कर्मेन्द्रियदेवताः
वाचो विषयः भाषणम् पाण्योर्विषयः वस्तुग्रहणम् पादयोर्विषयः गमनम् पायोर्विषयः मलत्यागः उपस्थस्य विषयः आनन्द इति
वाचो विषयो भाषणम् पाणयो विषयो वस्तुग्रहणम् पादयोर्विषयः गमनम् आयोर्विषयो मलत्यागः उपस्थस्य विषय आनन्द इति
प्राणापानव्यानोदानस्वमानाः पञ्च प्राणाः
प्राणापानव्यानोदानसमानाः इति पञ्च प्राणाः
सङ्कल्पविकल्पात्मकं मनः निश्चयात्मिका बुद्धिः
सङ्कल्पविकल्पात्मकं मनः निश्चयात्मिका बुद्धिः कारणशरीरं किम्
अनिर्वाच्य अनादि अविद्यारूपं शरीरद्वयस्य कारणमात्रं तत्स्वरूपाज्ञानं निर्विकल्पकरूपं यदस्ति तत् कारणशरीरम्
अनादि अविद्यारूपं शरीरद्वयस्य कारणमात्रं तत्स्वरूपाज्ञानं निर्विकल्पकरूपं यदस्ति तत् कारणशरीरम्
अवस्थात्रयं किं जाग्रत्स्वप्नसुषुप्ति अवस्थाः
अवस्थात्रयं किं जाग्रत स्वप्न सुषुप्ति अवस्थाः
जाग्रदवस्था का श्रोत्रादि ज्ञानेन्द्रियैः शब्दादिविषयाः ज्ञायन्ते इति यत् सा जाग्रत अवस्था स्थूलशरीर अभिमानी आत्मा विश्वः इति उच्यते
श्रोत्रादि ज्ञानेन्द्रियैः शब्दादिविषया ज्ञायन्ते इति यत् सा जाग्रत अवस्था स्थूलशरीराभिमानी आत्मा विश्व उच्यते।
स्वप्नावस्था का इति चेत् जाग्रत अवस्थायां यत् दृष्टं यत् श्रुतं तज्जनितवासनया निद्रासमये यः प्रपञ्चः प्रतीयते सा स्वप्नावस्था सूक्ष्मशरीर अभिमानी आत्मा दैजस इति उच्यते।
जाग्रदवस्थायां यच्छ्रुतं तज्जनितवासनया समये प्रतीयते सा स्वप्नावस्था सूक्ष्मशरीराभिमानी आत्मा तैजस उच्यते।
ततः सुषुप्ति अवस्था का अहं किमपि न जानामि सुखेन मया निद्रा अनुभूयते इति सुषुप्ति अवस्था कारणशरीर अभिमानी आत्मा प्राज्ञः इति उच्यते।
अहं किमपि न जानामि सुखेन मया निद्रानुभूयत इति सुषुप्त्यवस्था कारणशरीराभिमन्यात्मा प्राज्ञ इत्युच्यते।
पंचकोशाः के अन्नमयः प्राणमयः मनोमयः विज्ञानमयः आनन्दमयः च इति।
अन्नमयः प्राणमयः मनोमयः ज्ञानमयः आनन्दमयः चैति
अन्नमयः कः अन्नरसेनैव भूत्वा अन्नरसेनैव वृद्धिं प्राप्य अन्नरूपपृथिव्यां यत् विलीयते तदन्नमयकोशः स्थूलशरीरम्
अन्नरसेन भूत्वा अन्नरसेनैव वृद्धिं प्राप्य अन्नरूपपृथिव्यां यत् विलीयते तदन्नमयं कोशः स्थूलशरीरम्
प्राणमयः कः प्राणाद्याः पञ्चवायवः वागीन्द्रियपञ्चकम् प्राणमयकोशः
प्राणाद्याः पञ्चकः वागीन्द्रियपञ्चकं प्राणमयकोशः
ओके वाक् आदि इंद्रियं वाक् आदि इंद्रियं मनोमयः मनश्च ज्ञानेन्द्रियपञ्चकं मिलित्वा यो भवति स मनोमयकोशः
मनश्च ज्ञानेन्द्रियपञ्चकं मिलित्वा यो भवति स मनोमयकोशः
विज्ञानमयः कः बुद्धिः ज्ञानेन्द्रियपञ्चकं मिलित्वा यो भवति स विज्ञानमयकोशः
बुद्धिः ज्ञानेन्द्रियपञ्चकं मिलित्वा यो भवति स ज्ञानमयकोशः
आनन्दमयः कः एवमेव कारणशरीरभूत अविद्यामलिनसत्त्वं क्रियादिवृत्तिसहितं तत् आनन्दमयकोशः एतत् कोशपञ्चकम्
एवमेव कारणशरीरभूत मलिनसत्त्वं सत् आनन्दमयकोशः एतत् कोशपञ्चकम्
Okay. We saw this definition in the last class. Anandamaya kaha. Okay. Now you can make your mic.
Hello?
Yeah. Yes.
Just a couple of points before you start your thing.
Yeah.
I have some couple of questions. Plus, I wanted to react to the statement that it's beyond my. I cannot memorize this. It's beyond my capability. That's a little bit of for me. So I thought, so nothing is beyond one's capability. So what I mean, to attempt it deliberately to memorize something, certainly. Yeah.
I am open if somebody can help me. I tried. No, really, it could be the age, whatever. I'm not sure. I used to be very songs and all those things. Also, I used to sing. Now I need a script.
No. I just wanted to give a small tip. So what we do?
Go ahead.
Either we do the kind of daily chanting, either together or independently, and sometimes we skip it and all that. So when we do that, what you need do is like take it's given in different sections. Or take like totally it's like 40 pieces. Take a job of 6 or a week before you get that.
I lost you.
Don't let it deliver that you unconsciously get into your mind, and first you get familiarized with the sounds and so that.
I lost you. I can't hear you. Something is wrong with your phone.
Yeah, it's your voice is not audible now.
I don't know. There seems to be some problem with the.
Yeah, now it's good. Go ahead and tell me again. Yeah. What did you say? Sorry.
Just on a daily basis, not repeating that. Something whenever you get time, it unconsciously gets into your mind, the conscious mind, and then you are able to
You know the concept.
Just don't pay attention to that. Just keep repeating.
No, what I'm saying is I listen to so many prayers, so many things all day.
Okay, you can see it. It's okay, that's it's only the tip.
Yeah,
If you can memorize it, even otherwise,
my 2 cents. Yeah, that's okay.
No, it's encouraging. I understand. I tell that to my grandchildren all the time. No, but it's not work. It's like a futile thing. So I said, thank God I have scripts everywhere. I can read it. This is good enough. I settle down myself. So that's why every time he says, "Did you memorize?" I just go chuckling about it. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. We'll continue now. Start our class. Then mute your mic. We will have. We'll discuss at the end of the class. Okay. So in the last class, I think we completed up to Anandamaya Koshaha. And we have seen that Atma is different from all the factors what we covered before, said before by the author. Now the author gives a simple reason here. Madiyatvena yat jnatam swasmat bhinnam. What is mine is not me, and therefore it cannot be Atma. That is what the author says in the next sentence, which we will read. That is the sentence which we are going to look at today. Madiyam shariram. Then repeat after me.
Madiyam shariram.
Madiyaha pranaha.
Madiyaha
pranaha.
Madiyam manascha.
Madiyam manascha.
Madiya buddhihi.
Madiya buddhihi.
Madiyam ajnanam iti.
Madiyam ajnanam iti.
Svenaiva jnayate.
Svenaiva jnayate.
Tadyata madiyatvena jnatam.
Tadyata madiyatvena jnatam.
Kataka kundala grihadikam.
Kataka kundala grihadikam.
Swasmad bhinnam.
Swasmad bhinnam.
Tatha panchakoshadikam.
Panchakoshadikam.
Swasmad bhinnam.
Swasmad bhinnam.
Madiyatvena jnatam.
Madiyatvena jnatam.
Atmana bhavati.
Atmana bhavati.
Okay, this sentence we will. You can mute your mic now. Madiyam shariram. Madiyam, my body. Madiyam shariram. Madiyaha pranaha. My prana. Prana in plural, therefore Madiyaha. Madiya is adjective. Takes the gender of the substantive. Madiyam manaha, my mind. Madiya buddhihi, my intellect. Madiyam ajnanam, my ignorance. Madiyam jnanam also, you can say anything which you can say my all included. Iti svena eva jnayate. It is svena eva jnayate. Thus, we know that each one is known to me. Jnayate. Katakam is bracelet. Kataka kundala grihadikam. That katakam is bracelet. Kundalam is earring. Griham is house. Adi means etc. So kataka kundala grihadikam. Bracelet, earring, house, etc. The covering the whole the different objects of the world. Swasmad bhinnam. They are different from oneself. Yata swasmad bhinnam Katakakundala Gagadikam Madiyatvena Nyatam. I'm just rearranging the statement in the sentence. I'm reading. Yatha Swasmad Bhinnam Katakakundala Gagadikam Madiyatvena Nyatam. As bracelet, earring, house, etc., which are different from oneself or myself, are known to be mine, tata tat swasmad bhinnam panchakoshadikam madiyatve jnatam. Just rearrange the words of the sentence. So, panchakosha, panchakoshadikam, panchakosha, etc., swasmad bhinnam, which are different from myself, are known to be mine. Madiyatvena jnatam. Yatha swasmad bhinnam kataka kundala gagadikam madiyatvena jnatam tata tat swasmad bhinnam panchakoshadikam madiyatvena jnatam. Yatha aham na katakam, aham na kundalam, aham na griham. I am not the bracelet, I am not the earring, I am not the house. Tata aham na panchakoshadikam. So too I am not panchakosha. Why? The hetu is because the reason is swasmad bhinnam. They are different from me. Therefore, they are not me. Therefore, atmana bhavati. Panchakoshadikam atmana bhavati. Shariratrayam atmana bhavati. There are two types of arguments which for understanding the nature of Atma. The first type is called Aham Idam. Aham Idam argument. I, this argument. Aham means I, we know. Idam means this. The other argument is Aham Mama. I, my argument. Aham is I, Mama is my or mine. Both these arguments are used in the Shastra. When you say Mama, Mama includes Aham, Idam also. Mama includes Idam also. With respect to individual, Mama includes Idam. Therefore, Mama is used here. But Aham Idam, I, this argument is safer than I, mine argument. Safer than I, mine. That is Aham Mama argument. Why? Suppose you say Mama Griham, my house. Is it Aham Griham, I house? No, it is Mama Griham. My house is different from I house. Mama Griham is different from Aham Griham. My house is different. When you say Mama Griham, then the Griham implies an object which can be referred by the word Idam. This. Suppose if you say this is my room, that Mama, it doesn't reveal any sense of ownership or anything. For the time being, I am in the room. If you are staying in a hotel for a night, you will say this is my room. Tomorrow you have to leave. Therefore, how can you say it is my room? It's all for the time being. That is what it means. In fact, anything which is mine, it is referable by the word idam. Which is anything which is mine it can be referable by the word idam. But whereas anything idam is not mine. Therefore, idam is not referable by mama. When you say this is a big building, you use the word idam for the building. But you cannot say in any way this is my building. If the building is not yours, you cannot say this is my building. Therefore, every idam is not mama, but every mama is idam. Therefore, idam covers everything in the world. Any object, any things, any person, any relation, that idam covers everything in the world. That is widely used in the Shastra, idam. Idam means that the Nyaya Vishaya, that which can be objectified, known things. Even mama also, what when you refer to something which has mama, that also idam only. That can also is it's is available for objectification. Therefore, idam only. So, with respect to everything in the world, idam is better, as it because it covers everything, including mama also. Okay. So here the author he points out the mistake at the level of Shariram. There is no problem with regard to anything outside of me. My house is situated outside of me. I have no confusion in that. I don't have any confusion that it is me. So too, my father is there, my mother is there, my sisters are there. I don't have any confusion regarding them. None of them is me. So I don't commit a mistake of taking themselves to be myself. With regard to any relations or any object of the world, I don't have confusion. I know clearly it is not me. But with regard to body and their bodily features, appearances, I have confusion. Even though they are like any other object available for objectification in the Jagat, I am confused with regard to them. Even with regard to emotions, I am confused. In fact, this is a serious mistake. Emotions are also available for objectification. They are objectifiable. You can objectify your emotions like anger, grief, sorrow, anxiety. That is why you say, I am hurt. I don't like him. I don't like her. I like him or I like her. So others and their connection with you in terms of relation or emotions are objectifiable to you. You can objectify others. You can objectify your emotions. But you cannot objectify yourself. The perceiver cannot be perceived. When I say you can objectify your emotions, it means the emotions are not you. Because it is available for objectification. It is perceivable, objectifiable. So anything which you objectify cannot be you. But in our transaction with the world and with our own family members, we find almost every day because we are hurt. We are hurt by the actions and responses. We are so connected to them, and we take our emotions to be ourselves, and therefore we are hurt by their actions, their responses. We are worried. We are bothered by their intentions and their actions. So we are so connected or attached or identified with our emotions that we fail to recognize that they are not me. That emotions are not me. It is also like Kataka, Kundaka, Durgadikam. That is why people around us, they have a say over us. But Shastram says, like my house, my bracelet, my earrings, your body and your emotions are also not you. Though we seem to understand this fact, we fail to recognize in our daily transactions. In fact, we miserably fail. It's a total failure. Not that we don't understand Shastram. In spite of listening to Shastram, this jnanam is as though not known to me. Why? Because of my habitual thinking and behavior. Okay, that part we will discuss later. Now, we have to admit that we are committing a mistake with regard to understanding of what I am, who I am really. That mistake, it leads to owning up of things or objects, people and emotions which are not me. Therefore, the inquiry should start from here. Swami Chinmayananda used to tell a story. I like this story very much. I read that long back, and I've listened to this story many times. Even our Swamiji has recounted this story. One person, he mistook himself to be a cat. He thought himself to be a cat. And therefore, he doesn't come out of the house because there are so many dogs in the street, and he doesn't come out. You know, cats are afraid of dogs. So that person being a cat now is afraid of dogs. Now the family members called the psychiatrist. The psychiatrist was called for. He came and the psychiatrist he somehow tried to convince the person with the dialogue and by giving some examples and using mirror and all to prove that he is not a cat. At the end of the treatment, the doctor thought he was successful, and he went back with the satisfaction of having cured the person. Next day, the doctor got a call again from the family members that saying they told him that this person again he doesn't want to come out from the house. The doctor came back and asked him, why? What happened to you? You were all right yesterday. Yesterday you told that you came out of the delusion that you are not a cat. Then the person replied, I know that I am not a cat, but how do I know that the dogs in the street know that I am not a cat? Similarly, if you know that you are not this body, mind, sense complex, it is enough. This knowledge is only for you. It is knowledge only for us. It is not for others to know. When you are clear about who you are, when you know that you are not a cat, then why should you bother that dogs should know that you are not a cat? You should be convinced you are not a cat. You should be convinced to say that I am not all this. I am not these emotions. I am not this Kataka Kundala Gagadikam. Suppose you say I am a cat, then we can start our inquiry from there to prove that you are not a cat. Suppose if you are a cat, then you cannot talk, you cannot think, you cannot do any activities like human being. And I will try to prove with our logic and reasoning to negate that you are not a cat. I can bring a mirror and a real cat and show how a cat looks and negate and show the mirror to you also. You are not looking like a cat and negate the fact that you are not negate the seeming truth for you that you are not a cat. So in this example, this confusion is at the mental level. But here when you say Madiyam Shariram, Madiyaha Pranaha, the confusion is at the body level, physical body level. Body is me, mind is me. Therefore, we have to start the vichara here. Panchakoshas are not Atma. Atma na bhavati. All these things, whatever we saw so far, Atma na bhavati. They are not Atma. They are negated. Why are they not myself? We can give many reasons. But here, the author gives a very simple reason. The reason is I and mine. Agam and Mama. It's very simple reason. We often refer to the body as my body. Mama Shariram. My body is fat, my body is lean, my body is healthy, my body is mortal. The very fact that you refer to the body as my body is enough to show that body, like any other object, is possessed by you. You are the owner of the body. And this body which you possess now will have to be disowned by you later. Therefore, this body must be different from you. This reason itself must be enough to convince you, and you should be able to put it to practice from now onwards, that you be objective to your body like any other thing in the world. But can we do it? It's difficult. Therefore, we have to get convinced thoroughly till this jnanam is strongly entrenched in us. That is why we need constant reminders in the form of shravanam, listening to the shastram again and again, and thinking about it, and meditating on the statements of the shastra. Another reason which we can give is, the author has given the simple reason, agam mama. Another reason we can give is, chetana jada vedam. Simple reason, another reason. Chetana jada vedam. Body, mind, senses, shariradikam, they are jadam. Jadam means inert, matter. They are created out of matter. They are created out of matter, they are sustained by matter, and again they go back to matter. So matter cannot have chaitanyam, matter cannot have consciousness at any condition, any point of time. I know that I am a conscious being. There is no doubt about it. Even if you doubt, your very doubt itself proves that you are a conscious being. So the fact is, I am Chaitanyam, I am Shuddha Chaitanyam, I am consciousness. I means Atma. Chaitanyam cannot be the attribute of any matter because matter is inert. And therefore, I am different from Achetana Panchakosha, Achetana Shariram. They are because they are Jadam. And also I am different from the Avasthas. Avastha is nothing but they are all connected with the Achetana Vastu, Achetana Panchakosha, Achetana Shariram. Therefore, I am different from that. Another reason we can give to prove this is Nyatru Nyeya Vedam. Nyatru Nyeya Vedam. Knower, known, difference. Nyatra is Nyata, the knower. Nyeyam is that which is known. So, the division is the Nyatra Nyeya division, the difference. Shariradikam, they are Nyeya Vishayam. They are objects of knowledge. They can be objectified. I am different from what I know. Actually, right? I am different from what I know. I cannot be that which I know. I am different from what I know. What I know, they are available for objectification. So I am different from what I see. I am different from what I hear, what I smell. Knower is different from the known. I am aware of my body and its condition. I am aware of my pranas. I am aware of my mind and its emotions. I am aware of my ahankara. I am aware of sukham. I am aware of dukkham. When I say I am aware of sukham, I am aware of the 3 degrees of happiness: priya, moda, pramoda. I am aware of jnanam. I am aware of ajnanam also. So all these are objects of knowledge, and I am the knower. All these are known to me, and I am the knower. Therefore, I am different from all of them. So we can give many such simple reasons to prove that I am not them. Atma Navavati. Here the author gives a simple reason and also gives an example. What is the example? Kataka Kundala Virgadikam. You have a Katakam. You have a Kundalam. You have a Virgam. You have a Virgam, you have a estate, you have a farmhouse, anything you say. They're all Mama Katakam, Mama Kundalam, Mama Virgam, Mama Karayanam, anything. Karayanam is car. So are you the Katakam? Are you the Kundalam? Are you the Virgam? Na. Akam Kataka Kundala Virgadikam? Na. I am not that. I may have a complete identification with those things, but it is not myself. The Kataka Kundala Virgadikam, which are known as mine, they are Vasmat Bhinnam. They are different from myself. There is reasoning is involved here. You see, there is reasoning is involved here. Yat madhiyatvena grijyate tat svasmat bhinnam bhavati. Yatha kataka kundala virgadikam. Listen again. Yadyat madhiyatvena grijyate tat svasmat bhinnam bhavati. Yatha kataka kundala virgadikam. Simple Sanskrit. This is Vyapti. This is called Vyapti. Reasoning or inference. That which is owned, which you possess, which you say I possess. That which are possessed by you, Swasmat Vinnam, they should be different from you. Like Kataka Kundala Gadikam. They are not you, they are your possessions. Similarly. So this is the Vyapti. This is the Vyapti. That which is possessed by you should be different from you, like Kataka Kundala Vigadi. Hetu is Madiyatvena. Madiyatvena Grigyate is the Hetu. Hetu is indicator. Hetu is indicator or the cause for inference. Yatu Madiyatvena Grigyate Tatu Swasmat Binnam Bhavati Yata Kataka Kundala Vigadikam. This is the Vyapti. This is the Vyapti, that is the inference. And the Hetu is, the indicator for this inference is Madiyatvena Vidyate, that is the Hetu. And here the author gives an example. Drishtanta is given. Like what? Kataka, Kundala, Dargadikam. So I use three words. Understand these words properly. Vyapti, I use the word Vyapti, Hetu, Drishtanta. These three words are used when we apply Arthapatti, inference. These terms are used by Nayayikas, logicians, and Vedantins also use to prove certain things. So these, you be familiar with these three words. I will give a stock example to you to understand these three words. Suppose you see smoke on the mountain. From the smoke, what you see, what do you infer? You infer fire. You infer fire must be there. You infer that the forest on the mountain is on fire. What is the basis for this inference? There should be a basis to conclude that there is fire on the mountain. The inference is that is you would have seen the fire coming out of the kitchen. You would have seen the smoke coming out of the kitchen when your mother cooks in the kitchen. Smoke comes from the kitchen in those days because they use firewood. Therefore, smoke comes. So you would have observed smoke. And what is the cause of smoke? It is the fire, cooking fire. So smoke is the hetu. That is the hetu, indicator for inference. And fire, what you see? Fire is the effect that you infer. Therefore, you have inferential conclusion based on perception. What is that? Wherever smoke is, fire is. That is the inferential conclusion. That is the Vyaptik Jnanam, what I talked about before. Yatra yatra dhumaha, tatra tatra vannihi. Wherever smoke is, there should be fire. That is the Vyaptik Jnanam. Vyaptik Jnanam. Inferential conclusion, which is based on your perception. Your perception is you see the smoke. Therefore, you have this inferential conclusion. You see smoke on the mountain, right? The smoke is the hetu. Now, and you have seen the smoke in the kitchen, and you have concluded yatra yatra dhumaha tatra tatra vannihi. That is the Vyaptik Jnanam. Now you apply the Vyaptik Jnanam here when you saw the smoke on the mountain, and therefore you infer that the forest on the mountain is on fire. And what is the example or drishtanta for this inference to conclude that the forest on the mountain is on fire? It is the kitchen smoke. That is the drishtanta. Yeah, they have seen the smoke in the kitchen. So, Vyaptik Jnanam is yatra yatra dhumaha tatra tatra vannihi. That inferential conclusion is a Vyaptik Jnanam, and the hetu is a smoke, and the drishtanta is a kitchen smoke. Okay. In the same way, here also, yat madiyatvena krityate tat swasmat bhinnam bhavati yatha kataka kundala gajatikam. This is a Vyaptik Jnanam. Inferential conclusion based on our perceptions. Madiyatvena krityate is the hetu. And drishtanta is what? Kataka kundala gajatikam. That is the drishtanta, example. Drishtanta means example. Tata ayamapi panchakoshaha madiyatvena krityate tasmat swasmat bhinnam bhavati. This is the Vyapti Jnana Phalam. Tata ayam panchakosha. This panchakosha madiyatvena krityate. Panchakosha is madiyatvena krityate, which I take to be myself. They are different from me. So smat bhinnam. This is the Vyaptik Jnana Phalam. That is, this is the result of the fruit of our inferential conclusion based on perception. What is that? Tata ayam api panchakoshaha madiyatvena krityate tasmat swasmat bhinnam bhavati. So similarly, this body also is claimed by me as my body. The body is nothing made of insentient matter, jadam. Similarly, all the other koshas which are claimed by me as mine my prana, my mind, and everything, they're all nothing but matter. Jadam. I am consciousness. I am Chaitanyam. Everything is matter. Matter is different from me. Swasmat Bhinna. This knowledge is called Vyapti Jnana Phalam. The result of our inquiry. The result of our vichara. This vichara phalam is Vyapti Jnana Phalam here. So, you apply the Vyapti Jnanam and what do you get? You get the resultant, the knowledge, which is called Vyapti Jnana Phalam. That is what the author has done in this statement. Now, every individual, he refers to his body, shariram as mama shariram, madiyam. Madiyam means mine. He doesn't say I am shariram. When there is a relationship between two different things, we can use 60 case. You can use 60 case, Shashti Vibhakti. 60 case, Shashti Vibhakti stands for Sambandha, relationship. Shariram as a relationship with me. Therefore, it is clear that I am one entity and the Shariram is totally a different entity. So, between body and me, there is a relationship. A possessor relationship. Owned relationship. So, that is why I say I am my body. The Shariram refers to all the kosha, Annamaya kosha, Pranamaya kosha, Manomaya kosha, ityadi. Therefore, Madiyatvena Drishyamanaha Annamaya kosha, Swasmat Bhinnam Bhavati. You say Madiyam Shariram, and Shariram includes all the Panchakosha. Now I can bring all the Panchakosha and say, and say that these Panchakoshas are not me. I can negate them. That's what I'm going to do now. Madiyatvena Drishyamanaha Annamaya kosha, Swasmat Bhinnam Bhavati. Atmana Bhavati. Annamaya kosha, which is claimed to be mine, cannot be Atma. Why? Swasmat Bhinna. In the same way, my pranas also. When I say Mama Prana, it means what? The activities of the prana. All the activities of the prana which are referred by as my thirst, my hunger, my digestion, my circulation within the body, all these activities. And so too, all the complaints of the body are also my complaint. So, all the complaints of prana are also my complaint. So, when you go to the doctor, you say gastroenterologist, you complain about samana. But the cardiologist, you talk about dhyana. So, all the activities of the prana and their problems are known to you. Madiyatvena Duryate, they are known to you because they are available for as a nyaya vastu. Right? So you use the word my and refer to the functions. So it clearly shows the relationship, the sambandha. Therefore, you are different from them. So pranas refer to pranamaya kosha. So madiyatvena drivyamanaha pranamaya kosha swasmat bhinnam bhavati tasmat atmana bhavati. Pranamaya kosha, which is claimed to be myself, cannot be atma. Similarly with the mind also. You say the mind is restless, the mind is doesn't function. Mind is all jada, inert. It is an instrument which is operated by you, and you call them as mind, but you are different from them. So they do not become atma. Madiyam manaha. Sometimes you say my mind is agitated, my mind is restless. If the mind is restless, I am restless. That is because of my complete identification with the mind. So the very fact when I say my mind, it is samandha, shashti. Shashti vibhakti is it. Mama is shashti vibhakti. So therefore, you are not manamaya kosha also. When you say my buddhi is very sharp, my buddhi is dull, it also reveals the same sambandha, relationship. So therefore I am not vijnanamaya kosha also. So madiyatvena drivyamanaha manomaya kosha swasmat bhinnam bhavati tasmat atmana bhavati. Madiyatvena drivyamanaha vijnanamaya kosha swasmat bhinnam bhavati tasmat atmana bhavati. So manomaya kosha, vijnanamaya kosha, which are claimed to be mind, cannot be atma. Similarly, when you say my ignorance, mama ajnanam, that which refers to anandamaya kosha, the karana shariram, that is also atmana bhavati. When you get knowledge, your ajnanam goes away. Mama jnanam, you say. Mama jnanam or mama ajnanam. They are different from you. Therefore, madiyam shariram, madiyaha pranaha, madiyam manasya, madiyaha buddhihi, madiyam ajnanam iti svena eva nyayate. Svena eva. All these are known to me as myself. Svena. Because of closeness, that mental proximity, it may appear as myself, like the car which is owned by me, like a car, or a house, or a husband, or a wife, or anything for that matter, whether sentient or insentient. I own it. Therefore, I have that's a closeness is there mentally. I know that the pain of my pet dog is not my pain. They are so identified with the dog or with the house or the wife or children, anything. So the identification that it reaches the stage that it becomes myself, and therefore the pain and the sufferings and even the happiness of those things become mine. Their happiness become my happiness. Their pain and suffering becomes my pain and sufferings. How do you know that I take them as myself? Because when they are in pain, I also feel the pain. I also feel a pinch of that. When they cry, I also cry. So the other person's body, state of mind, and therefore the emotions, they are as good as mine. Even though it is different, it is as good as mine. That is why they say, Putre nashte aham nashtaha. When a son is lost, the father says, he is lost. So that is the complete identification. Therefore, what is not me may appear as myself because of identification. Tadatmya bhava. They are different from myself, as they are known as mama, mine. In the same way, the five koshas are for me. Adikam in Panchakoshadikam means you can take all the Shariram and the Avastha. The author dismisses Panchakosha because they are different from me. And we have to extend that to Shariram and Avasthas also. So, they cannot be Atma. Atma is you. And what about they? They are all Jadavastu, Anatma. But we take the attributes of the physical body upon ourselves and say, and to conclude, I am short and tall and all these things. Therefore, all these different conclusions, they are based on Sharira or Sharira Sambandha Abhimana. When you say that I am tall, it means with reference to the physical body, I am tall. If you understand what you say, then you can say there is no problem in that. When you know that body is different from you, then if you say I am tall, there is no problem in that. But if you don't understand, then there is a mistake in the statement. That is what we corrected. That the tallness, when you say I am tall, the tallness is superimposed. It is imposed upon I, the Atma. That is a mistake. That has to be corrected. But why do I take the body as myself? If you say the body appears as myself, the Shastra will say it is because of Ajnana. It is because of ignorance and the confusion, which is confusion born of ignorance, and the consequent, the identification, Abhimana. Till you buy a house, your house is nothing but it's just one of the things in the world. You don't have any attachment, Abhimanam with the Vigam. Nothing happens to you if the house is damaged. But once you buy the house, it becomes yours. Then every scratch in the house is a scratch on yourself. A scratch on my new car is a scratch on myself. In fact, I will not mind a scratch on my body, but a small scratch on the car, it causes big reaction on my side. I remember when I was doing my college, I used to go to the college in train. While going in the train in the morning, the train will be crowded, and some of my friends and the people around, they keep their foot on. There's no place to stand, so you have to keep your foot on somebody's foot that at least it will touch. It is not by intention, but there is no choice. So when my friends keep their feet on my shoes, I tell them not to keep their feet on my shoes. But they can keep their feet on my feet, I don't mind. But my shoes are brand new. I don't want to spoil it. So here, you see, the shoes have become mine. That my shoes, Madiyam Upanahau, my pair of shoes, they're so brand new. So I'm so completely identified with that. I don't mind they trampling on my feet, but not on my shoes. So too, here the Panchakosha, the five koshas, they are totally different and possessed by you, possessed by me. But it appears as though it is myself due to ajnana. Therefore, the Shastra says they are not Atma. Atmana bhavati. Then what is Atma? Atma is what then? Atma is Tebhyaha Atitaha. Atma is Tebhyaha Atitaha. They are distinct. They are different from me. Atma is Panchakosha Atitaha. It means what? Atma is neither of any of the Panchakosha or the Panchakoshas put together. They are not Atma. And therefore they are not the Atma. Sharirams are not Atma. Panchakoshams are not Atma. Shariratrayams are not Atma. Then, if they are not Atma, then what is Atma? The author has to, now he has to tell what is Atma. Then the author, now the next sentence you will find the disciple will ask, because he has listened so far what Atma is not. But the author has not opened his mouth and told what Atma is. That is the subject matter of this text, Tattvabodha. Therefore, the next question you will find, the disciple will ask, Atma tarhi kaha?
Atma tarhi kaha?
Satchidananda rupaha.
Satchidananda rupaha.
Okay. Atma tarhi kaha. Tarhi means then. Yadi tarhi. They are pair of words you can use. But here tarhi is used. What is Atma then? Atma tarhi kaha. You are told what is Atma so far. Now the disciple asks, what is Atma then? What exactly is Atma then? If Atma is not any of this, Annamayadibhyaha atitaha, Annamayadi Panchakosha atitaha, Stula Sukshma Karna Sharirana Atiriktaha, then what is Atma? What is the Swarupa of that Avastha Traya Sakshi? So far we have negated what Atma is not. Now the disciple asks, oh Guru, you please tell me what Atma is. The author will tell now. The disciple wants to know what Atma is, but the Guru doesn't say that till now. It goes on saying that Atma is not this, Atma is not that. So the disciple's inner voice seems to be what I want is one thing, but you keep on explaining what Atma is not. You're telling Atma is not this, not that. Why don't you answer straight away what Atma is? So we can understand the mind voice of the disciple from the question. That Tarhi itself says, what Atma Tarhi Kaha. Probably you may also have the same mind voice. I don't know. You may have me, Charanjit, 37 classes over. We have finished the Mundaka and other Vedantic text also. But still you have not come to the topic of Atma in Tattvabodha. When are you going to come to the topic? There is a reason here also in the text why the author has been negating what Atma is not. If the disciple is taught straight away what Atma is, then there's a possibility that the disciple may understand Atma as also one of the things in the Jagat. Or he may understand the Atma is body mentions complex. Possible. Therefore, the negation comes first. Because our tendency is always, objectify to know that anything which is which you want to know, we always think that is available as an object outside. That is our what do you call, our orientation. But here, negation is important to understand what Atma is. Because we cannot categorically point out what Atma is. We can understand what Atma is not, and from that we can infer what Atma is. Therefore, first, negation becomes very important. And also, here, the no. Okay. And also here, sorry. Also here, the knower, who asks the question, is the Atma. He happens to be the Atma. And he takes the Atma to be the one which has the Annamaya, the attributes. So there is no way of teaching the disciple unless we negate what is to be negated. Therefore, in the Shastra, it is said, neti, 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 neti. It keeps on saying naiti, 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 naiti. And finally, iti. Stops with iti. It says neti, 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 keeps on negating, and finally stops at a point and say iti. That iti has to be arrived at. First, we have to negate the wrong notions about the Atma. Atma is not pranamaya, annamaya, manomaya, etc. Because why? Why should we negate? Because we are all drishyam, drishya vastu. Atma doesn't have the attribute of those drishya vastu. Therefore, negation to be done. And here, understand, here there is no physical negation. We don't negate and dismiss them as nothing. No. Here negation is only by viveka, purely by viveka. We cannot do physical negation. If you physically negate, then who is asking the question and who is replying? So we cannot do it. Therefore, it is only by viveka. The Shastra says that viveka is to be done like munjat ishikam iva. This viveka is described in the Shastra as munjat ishikam iva. That is, taking the stalk from the kusha, the particular kusha grass. The grass is very sharp, it can cut your finger. Therefore, you should be carefully remove the stalks out of the grass. That denotes the viveka, that careful discrimination. So, now when all the superimpositions are negated, then what is left out, we can say, is Atma. Therefore, Atma is not Shabdavachya. Atma cannot be categorically can be pointed out and say this is what it is. No. Atma cannot be pointed out by the word this. Therefore, negation is important. Because one has already committed the mistake of taking Atma to be something. Therefore, negation is important. That is why the author, it took a long time to arrive at Atma. Now the time has come. Therefore, the author it takes up for discussion the last part of the definition in the Atma. You remember Atma Katha? That is why I said memorize the definition. You see, each word in the definition and the consequent new words which we introduced. Each word, words which we previously introduced and new words which come as a part of describing that definition. Every word is defined in Tattvabodha. Therefore, it is the book of Paribhasha, better to be memorized. If you remember the definition of Atma, the last part of the definition, the Atma is defined. Satchidananda Rupa San Tatishtati Sa Atma. Therefore, Atma Targikaha, what is Atma? Atma is Satchidananda Rupaha. Atma is Sat, Chit, Ananda. Now, what do you understand by these three words? Sat, Chit, Ananda. Three words are used to define Atma. Each word will be taken for discussion, and that we will do in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Thank you, Jackson.